Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Odoo founder and CEO, Fabien Pinckaers.
Welcome. Welcome to these 3 amazing days. I mean, wow, what a community. You started to upload and everything even before the movie was finished. And we have people from all around the world, 35,000 people from 120 different countries. Can you imagine? 75% of the visitors of this show are foreigners coming by flight. Imagine it's something like 15,000 hotel rooms. All right, so we'll start our journey by discovering Odoo 18. And in this journey, we'll go together for a very small company, managing everything on paper, up to the very large corporation with multinational and consolidation. But before we start, I'd like to tell you a personal story. And this story is about my favorite bookstore in India. So here it is. This is the typical Indian bookstore. No electricity, yet every square inch of space is used to its fullest capacity. I love this bookstore. I mean, they have a lot of very good management books, finance, self-improvement books. I go there very often. And by the way, they delivered a lot of books to us, so if you want, in the exhibition hall, we can sell very affordable books. Anyway, I love this bookstore. It's very efficient. And this is Deepak. He's founder and owner of the shop. Can you imagine how he runs his business? He has no inventory, no product data, no sales data, no way to know what to replenish, no way to build loyalty. I mean, everything was done manually. So when we discussed with them 3 months ago, we said, oh, we need to find a solution to that. We need to get his business under control. So we deployed Odoo for him, and everything changed. Now he has his inventory, he has his website, e-commerce, he sells online, he can build loyalty, he sends receipts to WhatsApp, and if you buy a book from a specific author, you will receive a notification when the new book for this author arrives. He's very well organized. And that's funny for me, because he's more organized than the European or American bookstores. I mean, he has very strong loyalty programs and everything. And he does everything from his mobile phone. And this is where our journey to discover Odoo 18 begins. So we'll start with the new mobile interface. So in Odoo 18, we redesigned our mobile interface. It's with a new interface, with new UX. All right? So here it is. So everything has been redesigned. It's very easy. You can go to any application, let's say CRM, with a great user interface, fast, scroll. You can move differently in different applications. And see how he manages his bookstore. So usually, he starts the day in the morning by receiving new books. But how do you record new books when you just work on your mobile? You go to the barcode application. And from there, he goes to operation and receipts. And from here, he's going to receive his own book. So let's do a new receipt. And now, in Odoo 18, you have this small icon on the top right, camera, and you can scan with your camera. That's very handful if you don't have a barcode scanner close to you. So you can get any book, let's say this one, and I receive this new book. This one, I get, let's say, 4 of it. And this one, let's say, just scan it, let's say 3 of it. You see how easy it is? In just 2 seconds, nothing to write, nothing to do. I just recorded a receipt for my inventory. Let's go to another one, this one. This one is a new book. It's not in my inventory. You see? It's telling me, oh, this book doesn't exist in your catalog. So what should we do? Let's do it again. It proposed me to create a new product. And then when I do that, Odoo is connected to billions of barcode database so that we know all the information from scratch. So you get everything. You have the title, the photo, the description. We make it short, but there is way more information for that, so the book can already be published online. If I want to publish on the website, just select the category, and now it's published on the website. People can buy it online. You want to sell it in your store? Choose where you sell it, and boom, now it's available in your store. You see how easy it is? And now you have this new product, just like that. I mean, it's so cool, I will do another one. Create new product, boom. Select if I want to publish online, publish in the shop, choose the price, done, and I received my 4 products. So starting from a database with nothing, I recorded all my data, created new product, just like that in a few seconds, and it's validated. You see how easy it is? All right, and then 3 months ago, I came back to Belgium. And I went to visit one of my friend's store, a toy store. And when I get to the store, I noticed something unusual. Did you notice it? It's a mess on his counter. You see here? There are a lot of toys that are not stored, not inventoried, and so on. So I asked him, why are these stored on the counter? Why they are not well placed? And he told me, oh, these are the toys we received 3 days ago. We didn't have time to create product, write description, translate, take pictures, publish on the website in a new software. I mean, for them, it was like 4 hours of work to record and publish these new products. And that's when I came to my head and said, oh, I think I have an idea. I took my phone and I did his inventory from scratch with no product. I scanned everything, and in 1 minute, everything was online and in the POS. It was the first time in my life where I sold Odoo just on my mobile phone. Yeah. And this is what I like about Odoo. I mean, you have so much power. You have access to billions of records. You can sell online. You can sell in the shop. It's extremely powerful. Yet, it's simple and affordable. And it's fast. It's really a productivity tool for you employees. But once you get that, once you have all this sorted out, now you have your inventory that is accurate, you have your point of sale where you can sell data. Oh, I forget to show you how it sells in point of sale. Let's say you want to sell some product. Instead of receiving, it goes to the point of sale application. Just like this. Oh. It's been a year since I didn't do a keynote, so sometimes I forget things. So let's say you want to open the shop and sell. So all he has to do is goes to the point of sale, open the cash register, open, and then he can count his money. Let's say it's good. And now he can start either choosing product from here or selecting, or use the same icon, barcode scanner. And now when customer wants to buy a few products, let's say I want to buy this one. It's a good boot. And I'd like to buy this one, like this, and this one. Boom. And that's it. You see how easy it is? I have 3 products registered, everything ready. I had nothing to do, just a few clicks. And if I want to pay, let's say by cash or by card, we connect obviously to the cash payment. Pay by card, by cash, validate, and that's it. And the person will receive the receipt. You want a receipt? Yeah? You want a receipt? Just give him your mobile phone, and you will receive the receipt through WhatsApp. Can you imagine even the Fnac? Even the big European and American bookstores are not as efficient as this to create royalty with their customers. So it's really useful. So that was the new mobile interface of Odoo. Everything is much cleaner and faster. You can do everything from your mobile if you sell on markets. But then, once we started to sort out his inventory, now he has his inventory accurate. He can sell in the shop. The next step to boost his business was to sell online. Because these guys are great books at a low price. So if he can sell online, he could easily do 10 to 20% extra revenue easily. So that's what we did with him. Say, OK, now let's create a website. And I will do it with you. We'll do it from scratch. Let's start a new website. I want a business website for a bookstore, maybe. Bookstore, with the objective to sell more, get leads. He just put his logo, Books for Life. That's it. And now we have the artificial intelligence engine that creates propositions of team for me using my colors, orange, and the bookstore. If you want more, we now have an ability to get more teams generated by the AI. So I picked the first one, and the artificial intelligence engine is building the website for me with text and image and everything. So one thing we did in Odoo 18, we reviewed all the teams so that they are extremely beautiful and modern. Can you see? Wow, it's good, huh? I'm surprised even myself. Let's click on edit. Let's say we want to improve it. Top selling books of the year. That's not perfect. Just select, click on AI, and now you have proposition alternatives. And let's say best-selling books of the year, this is better, and boom, just like that, it's done. Maybe you want to add some content. So we simplified the right toolbar. You can get content from everything, let's say image or columns or content. When you drag and drop, now you have a building block selector. And you have plenty of building blocks available. They all follow your theme. You see orange buttons, books everywhere. So they are pre-made for your own business, and they are extremely modern. So let's go on image. Let's pick one. I don't know, maybe this one. And boom, I add a building block to my website. Let's improve it. Let's say I'm going to add a shape on this block. So I go to shape, and maybe this one. Except I want it in white so that I connect with the here. And boom, here it is. I have a new building blocks with a shape. So it's very easy. Let's improve this image. Let's add a shape here on the picture. And I like when there is some animations, like this. This one is not animated, what I'm telling. Yes, it's slowly animated. We can increase the speed. Boom. It's maybe too much, like this. So it's really easy to build up your website. And this building block system, let's say I want to drop some content here. You can have a search also. Let's say you want a call to action with a button. Click, choose, boom. And so it's much easier to design a website, and your website are professional, clean, and modern right out of the box. All right, let's save that. So now that I have this beautiful website, I can check the shop page, go to books, and all my books are here. And all the data about these books, even though I had nothing before in my database, are filled in automatically. I have the brand, the manufacturer, description, image, whatever you want. So it's really, really efficient to build up and start selling online. So right now, I can already buy. I can go here, add to cart, buy to my cart, and I can already purchase my books online. All right, let's continue. OK, now that you have this business, we started with the small shop, and we started selling in the shop. Then we build up our online sales with the e-commerce. The next step, if you want to grow the business, is to recruit a sales team. Maybe we want to go B2B, sell other products, furniture, or whatever. And for that, there are a few key elements to build a sales team. If you want to do it at scale, and I know what I'm talking about because we have something like 2,000 sales at Odoo, the key elements are you need a good CRM to build up your pipeline, organize your activities, be sure that your sales have a systematic approach with follow-up of everything to do. Then, once you have a good CRM, you need to work on your conversion rate to convert more clients from quotation to sales order. And once you get that, the next step is to work on the sales productivity for them to be more efficient. Sales is about volumes, doing a lot. And finally, we'll work on the incentives on the sales team. Let's go with the CRM. So everything is obviously integrated, so my products and everything are already available in my CRM. Odoo has a clear CRM, beautiful, drag and drop, fast, and everything. In the new version of Odoo 18, we improved the graphs of every screen in Odoo. So if I switch to the graph view, like this, we have new graphs, and you see how clean they are, much better than before. You can turn it like this, or like this, maybe here, and I want to group by maybe country and then stage. And in the stage, I want to remove the new. You see how clean they are, how fast it is to manipulate the data. We improved the engine to be much faster, more professional, and everything. And let's work on our pipeline. So we get an opportunity, like this one. Now, if you compose a message like here, we improve the composer. It's very clean and short. You can use the AI icon here. Let's say I want to write a proposition for the next book of Chris Voss, like this. And the AI will help me communicate with my client with some propositions. Boom. So he's explaining, Chris Voss is former FBI hostage negotiator, writing good books, seems good to my email, just send it. And you can do that from email, WhatsApp, SMS. Everything is available out of the box. And now that you start to build up your pipeline with your CRM, you want to create knowledge for your salespeople. And for that, you can use the small icon here. Let's say sales playbook. Boom. And I can link anything to my knowledge database, whether I'm a sales order, manufacturing, so that I get information about what interests me when I am doing something. Let's say I like this qualification form. Click on use that node, and now I can call my customer and qualify him right on the way by filling this form. So it's really fast. All right, so we have this new CRM, beautiful graphs integrated with knowledge, composer, artificial intelligence. Now it's time to work on our conversion rates on the quotation. So a few months ago, we did a lot of renovation in our offices, and we received a lot of quotes from subcontractants. And most of them, all of them, pretty much all of them, they looked like this. I mean, it's ugly, no? Maybe the products are good, I don't know, but for sure, it's not professional. It doesn't want me to buy products to this vendor. So obviously, when you do that, your conversion rates are much lower. So let's see how we can do better with Odoo. Let's create a new quotation for this client. One click, quotation template. And here it is. It's loaded out of the box. Let's send it by email. Now you have a new way to configure your reports, and you can choose from multiple design. So let's pick our logo. Books are live. Orange, and maybe I will put some bluish, like this. And so you can design your report template. They are more professional, and you can choose for a few ones, the ones you prefer. And boom, my email is ready, and I can send it by email. But you know what? We can do much better. So let's have a look first. It's clean. It's clean. At least it looks professional. I want to work with this company. But let's do better. You see here the quote builder. You can click from here, and from here, you can tailor your quotation based on your customer. So you can put different files on your header, on your footer, or your multiple products. So let's say I want to add a header, and then an about us. You can have multiple customer testimonials based on the industry. So if he is in retail, I will put a retail testimonial. If he's in French, I will put a testimonial in French. So you select what you want to include in your quotation. Let's add the terms and quotation. And you can also add product sheets, like this. He purchased a large meeting table, so I'd like to add this product sheet. And on that, I can tailor the text. So you can describe what he ordered. So as discussed, here is your table with apple wood finishing. I know. Length, 180 centimeter cross 80 centimeter. And you can design your quotation just like this in a few clicks and activate some tailored sections. And once you do that, let's have a look. Now you get something that is astonishingly efficient and beautiful. Let's see. Boom. This is your quotation. So it includes everything I asked for. There are some explanation about my company, why we are the best, or the usual delivery SLA, the products you purchase with customized text. There is some length, as discussed. And then the pricing, everything you want to do, some customer reference, tailored to the business of the end users and terms and conditions. So with this quotation builder, you can really boost your conversions. Why it's like that? So imaging, you receive two offers, one on the left, one on the right. Which one you would pick? Yeah, all right. And you know what? Even if the one on the right is 10% more expensive, most people will still choose the one on the right. Even if it's the same product, because there is no way to know. Because you are sure you work with a professional company. So imagine you can boost your margin just by increasing the way you quote to your customers. All right. Did you notice something in this screen that changed? One of my favorite features is in this screen, but it's a little detail. You see here the product and the description. It used to be two different columns, and now we put everything in the same column. That way you save space for the price and the tax and amount. Yeah, I know some people in the room know that horizontal space is very valuable in Odoo. But you can still add a description. So you can just click here, and you can put a custom description for here. And that way, if the description is the same than the product, you don't need to do it. Most of the time, you have the product and the description is the same. So you don't need to add a description. But you can still customize the description if you want. So we improved the layout of the quotations. All right. So now we have this good CRM. We start to create a pipeline of opportunities. And we have good opportunities, so we create quotations. And we convert these quotations better because we have beautifully professional, modern quotes. Now, it's time to work on the sales productivity. You want your salespeople to be efficient. Sales is all about volumes. The more they call, the more they send offer, the more they do, the more revenue they will generate. How can we do that? I'll show you how you can create a quotation very quickly. I already showed you with a quotation template. Boom, it's done. Let's do another one. Maybe I will start with a catalog. And from here, I can say, OK, I want this, 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 3 of that. I'm going to go to the category of outdoor furnitures, like this, 3 of this. So in just a few seconds, boom, you can create a quotation with a lot of products. Yeah. Let's continue. In Odoo 17, we introduced the combo product for the point of sale. Very useful for menus in restaurants and things like that. Now you get this combo in the backend and in the e-commerce. So let's get a product, let's say, office combo. And I can choose here, I want this one, this table with this chair, like this. And you see? It's very efficient. Or maybe this one, and this one is a product configurator where I can choose if it's plastic or leather with the size, and I confirm, and boom. I have my 5 products added to my quotation just like that. This is really productivity at work. I mean, in pretty much every other software, it takes minutes to create a sale order. Here, we have something ultra efficient for every business, depending on the way you prefer to work. But let's go on my favorite one. In some business, it's quite difficult to quote. It's not just a list of products. There are some rules. Like if you are in the construction industry or furniture business, it depends on what you sell. So let's go with this quotation template. Boom. You see here, I have furniture assembly and delivery. But maybe the furniture assembly is more complex. Maybe it depends on the number of tables. If I have more tables, it's going to take more time to do the assembly. Or the delivery might depend on the kilometers or whatever. So it's difficult for the salespeople to put the right amount here, because usually they have a lot of documents on how to quote to help your salespeople. It's a mess. Now, in Odoo 18, you can link a spreadsheet to your quotation template. And when you do that, a new button appears on the top here with your spreadsheet. Click on it, quote calculator, and boom. So we have 4.5 cubic meter, but you see my truck is full like this, so maybe I will add 10 extra. But now my truck is loaded at 96%. But maybe I'm going to add some extra for the client, so we'll get, instead of a light truck, the recommendation, I will go with a medium truck. That way, I still have 42% availability in my truck. And in order to do the assembly, I'm going to have the system computed 10.5 hours based on the number of tables and chairs I ordered. But maybe, just for safety, I will charge the customer a little bit more, 4 hours extra for security. And extra for carpenter, 6 hours. And you see the cost breakdown, it changed on the fly. So now you can design your own spreadsheet dedicated to your business with your own formulas. And in one click, you see how now the assembly is estimated to $3,000 and the transport is 200. One click, back to the order, and my transport and assembly is set automatically. All you have to do now is to send to the client. But before sending, I'll ask an advance payment on 30%. So if he pays the 30%, the system will automatically trigger inventory and manufacturing operations. I mean, this is real productivity at work. Nobody has ever gone that far in terms of efficiency for your employees. Let's continue. Now that you have these salespeople that are overperforming, they have a great CRM, they have a good way to create good-looking quotes, and now they can have a maximum productivity, and you can ensure that what they code is correct because of all the rules you set up in your spreadsheet or your catalog. It's time to work on the incentives. So Odoo 18 has a new application, Commission, which is available here. And from there, you can define multiple commission plans for a salesperson or for a sales team. Let's go on this one. You can define per target, based on the target, fixed price target, lots of different ways so that every commission plan possible is feasible. And you have your plan here. So if he gets 100% completion, he will have a commission of $1,500. It's a quarterly target. And at 150, he gets 3,000, and then 200, he gets 6,000. Let's change that. Let's put an accelerator. At 200%, you will get $10,000, and you will see the graph will update real time, so that you have an overview of your commission in real time. And then each salespeople get access to this in real time, so that they know where they are based on their targets and forecasts and everything. And you can base the achievement on pretty much everything. Amount invoice, sold, MRR, if you do subscription, based on sales, based on invoice, whatever you want. All right. So we have a lot of improvement in sales. We have seen how we can start with this very small business from the mobile phone. From the mobile phone, we set up a point of sale, and we can start selling. We do the inventory. We can start receive and deliver and do everything from the mobile phone. Then we grew this business by setting up an e-commerce. From scratch, I did nothing. New product, just 2 minutes live on stage, and we have an e-commerce live and running where I can sell online. And then, because the business was booming, I recruited a sales team. And I put the right tools to my sales team to be sure they get efficient at what they do. The next step is to work on operations. As you start to sell like crazy, now you have to deliver. So let's work on the warehouse management system and how you improve operation to make your operational team more efficient. And for that, we have a new barcode interface that has been completely redesigned from scratch. I just have to turn it on. All right. Backend. So you can use barcode. You can use barcode from a barcode scanner. You can use from your mobile. You can use for pretty much everything you want. So let's go to the barcode application. But one of the newest features of Odoo 18 is the RFID to scan much faster. So let's go to operation, and I will record a receipt, new products. So I will receive new products, and I'm going to do it very quickly. So I just get these beautiful Odoo shoes that will be available in the Odoo goodies in the exhibition hall. And we need to record them to set the inventory. So what I do, I just come here. I have to synchronize my... I have to link my Bluetooth was not on. Sorry. So I connect my RFID barcode scanner to the Odoo mobile app. And usually you can also have, they have a Zebra barcode scanner on top of it here. So the screen is usually here. But you can have it on your mobile phone. I did it on mobile phone for the purpose of the demonstration. It's easier. But usually they have the screen on the on the RFID scanner, which is much easier. So let's go, and we scan product. Boom. So you can check, I have 10 boxes, and it's been scanned in a few seconds. And as you do it, you even have the rate. So let's validate the receipt. OK, but that was too easy. Let's do it much bigger. And for that, we'll do an inventory. So I go to the inventory count, and I will do an inventory adjustment, and I will check the inventory of all my store. Are you ready? $100 products in 2 seconds. So you can see here, everything is green, except this one and this one. So maybe it could be possible that I missed something. I don't think so, but I will do it just because I like it. Just to check. No, nothing new. Yeah, we lost 3 products. Probably this night someone get a new T-shirt. And just like that, we do an inventory of 100 products. But still, that was too easy. Let's make it even more advanced. Imagine a typical warehouse. So usually a warehouse works like that. You have a receiving docks with your trucks where you receive products. If the products are good, you can store them directly, or maybe you will bring them to the quality control, check the quality, and store them after. And then you have to prepare the order for your clients. So usually in the morning, you put these products in the picking area, everything you will deliver today. And then some people prepare the box for each order, and then you put them in the right shipping dock, depending on where they go. This is a traditional inventory organization. And I would say pretty much every software can do that. I mean, it's easy to receive, it's easy to deliver. The difference with Odoo is not only we can do all the flow you can expect, it's simple, but the most important for me is that that's where most of the traditional players fail. It's the flexibility. We all know that inventory is never accurate. You sometimes have mistakes, you sometimes have to change the route, you need to deliver from another warehouse, another picking, you have products that you need to scrap. There are always exceptions. And exceptions and issues takes a lot of time in your inventory operations. And this is where Odoo shines in. We have been always very good in that regard. But Odoo 18 is moving the bar even further. So we can already do pretty much every flow you can imagine, put away strategies, wave picking, cluster picking, batch picking, pretty much everything is ordered. So let's have a look at the traditional make-to-order flow. Usually it starts with a customer order, and in order to deliver this customer, you will do a picking, then a packing, and then a shipping. 3 steps. You can do it in 1, 3, 4, whatever you want. But for the purpose of this example, let's go in 3 steps. We pick the product, we pack them into box, and then we deliver the client. And because it's a make-to-order, you will have a purchase order where you will purchase, receive the product, move them in store right before. And in Odoo 17, as you did that, all these 5 operations were created in advance. It was useful for the forecast of the inventory, but everything was created in advance. The problem, when you create everything in advance, is that it's more complex to be flexible because you have to change a lot of documents every time you need to adapt the flow. So let's say you want to do a cross-dock. Maybe you receive the products, they are already in the right boxes, so all you have to do is to deliver them to the client. That's called cross-dock. You get the products from the reception and move them directly to the shipping area. And you skip the storing and the picking and the packing because they are already well packaged. If everything is created in advance, it's not easy to change in the middle of the operation and decide to do a cross-dock. Or maybe a quality control. As you receive, you notice that the goods are damaged. So you send them to quality control before sending to the storage. Or maybe a picking. In order to pick, if you need to use a pallet, you will ask a different worker, operator, to use a forklift, move the pallet to a specific location so that you can get the box and do the picking. So depending if you pick a pallet or a box or a single product, you're going to have different flows. So we improved that in Odoo 18 in a very elegant way. Let's start with this simple flow: picking, packing, and shipping. And we'll do a sale order when we pick from Delhi. Yep. So I create a sale order, new product, client, choose a product. This one, yes. And this one will be shipped from my warehouse. Which one is it? Delhi. I will ship this product from Delhi. Confirm. No, you see the delivery order is ready. No, in Odoo 18, we only create the first step. But this step knows who's the final location. So all your forecasts are still correct, but we only created the picking in Delhi. So maybe the inventory manager, as he connects to Odoo, let's have a look. He goes to his inventory application. Boom. First, he admires his beautiful dashboard, which is completely new, with beautiful graphs, so it's easy to check the status of every order and everything. And we notice that the delivery orders in Delhi are very late. That's why they are red. So we are not efficient and probably overloaded. So let's have a look at our order here, Deco Addict. And in addition to that, the products are not available. So one solution here is just to change. Let's not ship it from Delhi. Let's ship from Mumbai. All you have to do is to change the operation type. Change where it comes from, Mumbai, and that's it. Now we will ship from Mumbai. Let's do it quickly, one quantity, and validate. So it's very easy to change because we created only one operation in advance. And then you have all the push and pull rules that will decide. Because you did the picking in Mumbai, it will propose to do the packing, obviously, in Mumbai. You don't have to change it anymore. So let's do it. Yes. So let's do on my mobile. And you see that pack in Mumbai, in the bottom, I have one operation. Oh, I forget my barcode. So in order to show you different things, this time I will use a regular barcode scanner. Just need to find my page. Here it is. And so all he has to do is pick the product, scan it. Oh, let's do the packing. This one. All he has to do is pick the product, scan it, boom, it's recorded, and then validate it. Nothing to do. It's super easy. To scan, and it's done. So we did the picking and the packing in Mumbai. All right, so we did the picking. Because we changed to Mumbai, the packing has been done in Mumbai. The next step is to deliver. And then it depends. If you have a pallet, you will use DHL. If you have boxes, you might use a different shipping company, or you might even use your own trucks. So now, in Odoo 18, we have a new transport management system that is fully included in our inventory management application. So if you go to the fleet, let's go to the fleet. Here I have different trucks. Let's pick this one. It's a Volvo truck with a capacity of 44 tons and 32 cubic meters. And in your inventory application, if I go to the inventory here, you see that for my delivery order here, he prepared 2 batches. So we already organized the different things in batches depending on my availabilities of my products. Let's go to this one. This one, I will assign this to this truck. And yeah, capacity is good. We only have 0%. But then you can manage the load. You can assign directly by selecting what you put in each shipment easily, or you can configure on the picking operations here, configuration, to create the batches automatically based on contact, carrier, destination, product, category, square meter, and then it will organize all your shipment based on your capacities of your truck, the destination, to be sure it's handled properly. And after that, you have a map view, and the shipping and everything is automated in Odoo. All right. So we have so many new features in the inventory management that we have a small video to recap all of that.
Welcome to All for Pools, an importer and wholesaler of swimming pool equipment offering a range of products for the construction and maintenance of both public and private pools. I'm Dallas Dean, and in this video, we'll be exploring how Odoo's new features in the inventory and barcode applications are helping us to simplify our daily operations. All right, to start the day, we have an unknown pallet to identify. Ludwig can scan it with his phone or his Zebra barcode scanner to search through our transfers and find out what it is. All right, so it got delivered yesterday. So it appears those are cleaning products we order a lot. Oh, and we also received a brand new model of RGB lamps that we need to add to our database. All Ludwig needs to do is use his phone to scan the barcode, and the new product is automatically created with all the information from the barcode database. And of course, he can edit any info he needs to change. They're tracked by serial number, and we can scan to receive all the serial numbers and quantities at once. Now it's time to put everything away. Thanks to the new and improved put-away rules, Odoo suggests the correct location to store them in based on where they've been stored in the past. Now that we're done with this, let's check our sales application. We just received a sales order for 5 pool robots. Unfortunately, we only have 2 of these in stock, so we'll have to purchase some. With the new MTSO, or Made to Stock and Order feature, there's no need to order 5 new ones anymore. On the purchase order screen, I can go ahead and validate the automatically created RFQ. And of course, Odoo knows what we need and only orders the 3 that we're missing to fulfill our order. Instead of tediously counting all of our filters and pumps and lighting, we can just do a quick scan of our shelves with the RFID scanner. It counts all of the products tagged with RFIDs, and it automatically updates our inventory for us. It looks like our pool robots have arrived. But upon further inspection, Oliver realizes that the package is a bit damaged. Before sending the pool robot to the customer, he'll want to get them checked out. By using a pull-to-push rule, he can simply transfer the products to the quality control location. And when they're done, they'll continue on their original path. These pool robots are expensive products that we track by serial number. So, by going to our lots and serial numbers, we can see exactly how much we paid for each unit. And that's the value that will be subtracted from our inventory valuation whenever we deliver the products. Now, it's time to prepare the goods for delivery. Since we have several areas to get things from, we'll use Odoo's wave picking feature to split the transfers based on location of the products. And each of them will go to a different area. And that's it. Everything's ready to be delivered. But before delivering, we need to choose which vehicle will be used for the delivery. Odoo shows us if the transfer can fit in each vehicle based on both the weight and the volume. And since we have a big delivery, it's better to use the truck today. And by clicking on the map button, we can preview our driver's route. And they can even click on the Google Maps button to set up their navigation in a flash. And we're done. Odoo 18's new features in the inventory and barcode apps make our workdays a breeze.
We also, so we started our journey as a very small company in the street, nothing, just this mobile phone. And because of Odoo, we started to set up the sales, keep the inventory under control, and the company started to grow and grow and grow. And because we sold a lot, we set up the operations with inventory. Now we can manage the manufacturing too, if you decide to manufacture. So the new version of Odoo comes with a new manufacturing dashboard, which is here. And you see every work center, the capacity, availability, OEE percentage. And you have a graph of the capacity here. So we see here that we have an overhead of 26.7 hours. And next week is nearly full, so it's going to be complex, so we'll have to act accordingly. So we have dashboards for every application node that have been completely redesigned for efficiency. But we have so many features in manufacturing that I won't show you all of them here. I won't have the time, but we have a presentation right after this one on all the new manufacturing features. Some of the main ones are an improvement in the MPS, on-demand quality check, so you can decide if you do it or not, rather than automating every time you want it. Gantt chart of manufacturing order, work order, quality in repair, quality for rental returns, so you do inspection when you return the product. The catalog feature that we have in the sale order is now available in the BOM, MO, repair, and purchase order. We have improved the mass produce if you produce with tons of millions of serial numbers so that it's very fast. Work in progress in your accounting, but we also improve the manufacturing execution system, the tablet in the shop floor. Now you can add notes, define the next operation when you finish something to work in push rules. You have fold and fold, improve UX, progressive web app, so you can install on the tablet or on the mobile for both inventory, manufacturing, and also point of sale. So you don't even need anymore to go to the back end of Odoo to open the manufacturing execution system. All right, so now we have this company. It's great at selling, he has an online presence, he is good at the operation, to deliver, to manufacture. Pretty much everything starts to be in good shape for our company to grow. We started with a very small company, 1 person. We are now at a company of around 100 employees. Next step is to improve your services, maybe after-sales services, or to do projects on demand, where you tailor your product based on the customer need. And for that, we'll use the project management application. So let's have a look at what's new. So if I go to the project application like here, we have multiple projects, that's not new. And we have the Kanban of, oh, my surprise is already there. You have, as usual, your clean project management system. And let's go on one task. Now, everything in Odoo is integrated with the eSign app. Whether it's a task, a delivery order, a manufacturing order, you can ask a signature on this. So let's say I want a signature on this specification before moving on. I can just do request signature, choose a template, non-disclosure agreement, and send to the client, ChatGPT. Yeah, now I become lazy. Write an email to ask NDA signature for my task specification. Boom. OK, that's good. Insert, sign. Normally you send by email. We won't send by email. I will sign directly. I like to cheat. That's it. Initial, sign all. Next, next, next. And so this document will be linked to my task and my project management automatically. So you can link everywhere in Odoo. You can request a signature. And let's go back to the task. So you see here I have the 2 documents that are necessary in order to move to the next step. So now I can say it's approved. These specifications are multi-user, so we can all collaborate changing the specifications here. And now you have an history of the revision of everything you change in every HTML field in Odoo. So let's ask the version history. And you see, started with nothing, then we get this, then this, this, this. Or maybe you want to see what's new, and you highlight the modification that every user done. Let's go back to the project. But my favorite feature in project management application is this new icon here. This one is magic. You know, when you work on a project, whether it's a construction project, big clients, the users, they are in the context of this project. Usually they work mostly for this project. So everything they do, sales order, quotation, timesheets, invoice, it's for this project. Whether you are a lawyer, with services, construction, building something, people like to work in their project. So now if you want to work that way, instead of jumping from one application to another to go to sales, inventory, tasks, timesheet, whatever, you can use this small icon. And as you do it, normally it starts like this. Yes. It opens a new toolbar on the top, and you can customize this toolbar project by project. So for every project, you can adapt it. So let's say I click here, and for this project, I'm going to need timesheet, document, sales order, and because it's a construction project, I will purchase some materials, receive from my warehouse, and I want a dashboard. And just like that, you create the context of your project. And now, as you are in your project management application, you can click and directly go to the timesheet, documents, sales orders, purchase, dashboards, and everything. But that's not all. We can do better. Here, we go to the Gantt view. On this Gantt view, I'd like to plan on my tasks. So starting off today, I will click here, and I have a lot of tasks that have not been planned yet, so I will auto-plan. And now I have the chart of my project. Maybe this one, I will do it a bit more. And I have my planning of my project. And you know, I like this view. This view is quite efficient. I want to save it because my other user will need it too. So you can click here, Save View, and I have my Gantt chart. And I share it. And it shares everything, your views, your filters, your groups. And now you can jump from the task to your Gantt chart, to your timesheet very easily. And this is project by project. So on this project, I don't need it. It's a very small R&D project. They just work on tasks. So there is no toolbar. But if I go to this project, I have my full construction project with all the things. So it's really adaptable to everything you need. All right. Now, with such a good service that we can provide with after-sales service, the company is growing even more. We'll maybe create some multiple companies, subsidiaries. We are expanding all around the world. And so for that, we have a lot of new features in project. In field service, in help desk, in planning, but we will have a lot of talks to explain you that into the details right after. Let's see now how we can set up such a multi-company environment and manage all your finance and accounting operation. And for that, I'm going to invite Winand, our director of the accounting practice, on the stage.
Good morning, everyone. And let's get started, because we have plenty of exciting stuff to talk about. But first of all, let's get started with the biggest improvement in Odoo Accounting 18, localizations. Because this year, the team has done an amazing effort. They managed to add more than 600 localization-related tasks in Odoo 18. And that's huge, because it's really going to impact the usage of Odoo Accounting worldwide more than any other feature we're going to release today. So let's have a look at the map. First of all, we added 10 brand new countries. Most of them are in Africa, but also Uruguay, China, Cyprus, and Malta are new to the list. But working on localizations is a continuous effort in order to remain compatible with local compliance. So that's why most of them are improvements to already 74 existing countries. But most of all, we're really proud we now have 69 countries fully localized in Odoo Standard. All of them containing a specific chart of account, taxes and fiscal positions, but also a dedicated balance sheet, profit and loss, and tax reports. So now that accounting is available in that many countries, we wanted to make sure to impact the daily life of any accountant. We wanted to make it as fast and automated as possible. But of course, all of that without compromising in any way on user experience and onboarding. So let me show you the brand new accounting dashboard. The dashboard has been completely redesigned in order to simplify repetitive tasks. But also your important information, like the next upcoming VAT report, or even more important, the payment of the previous one is directly available on the dashboard itself. But there is way more. Let me show you how easy it is to upload all of your daily documents. And therefore, let's get started with some bills that I received from my colleagues over here. You can now easily select all of them and easily drag and drop them in the related journal. But not only bills, because this year we enlarged the scope of our amazing OCR in order to simplify the creation of credit card transactions. Let's go back to the dashboard. Because similar as with the bills, I can easily select now my monthly Visa statement, and similar as with the bills, I can easily drag and drop in the rated journal as well. And within a few seconds, Odoo will transform the statement in all corresponding transactions. You can easily click on the refresh button over here, and you've seen that we created 13 statements, 13 transactions out of the box. No need to create these manually anymore. And if you link them to reconciliation models, just like I did over here, all of them have been posted without any intervention anymore. So let's go back to the bills and see what happened over there. And first of all, let's take the one from Proximus. So you might have noticed, just like in the sale order, we also merged over here the product and the label column in order to gain even more space on the invoice lines. There is more, of course. As you can see, the artificial intelligence has filled in all relative information for this supplier, just like the previous times. And that's why, as from now on, when I will confirm this bill, Odoo will suggest to put this supplier into auto post, which means that if I activate it, all new uploading bills for Proximus will be directly posted as well. And of course, all of that works in combination with the document application or any mail gateway. And if you use our PEPL access point, the import will be as automated as the validation itself. Imagine, more than 70% of your bills fully automated without any intervention. That's what I call real-time accounting. So let's use our keyboard shortcuts and go to the second one. The second bill, I need to reconcile with my open purchase orders for three-way matching principles. So just like today, if we can find a perfect match, we will still match it out of the blue with your purchase order lines. But if not, like in this case, you now have a brand new smart button over here that will open a new reconciliation screen. And within that screen, you will see all open purchase order lines that you can easily link with your bills, just like here. But we went a small step further, because directly from the reconciliation screen itself, you can now update your quantities directly on the purchase order lines. So if you expect only 4 anymore instead of 10, you can easily change it over here. But also the price, because as you can see, it was slightly lower than I expected, which is great, of course. So also that, you can easily change it over here. So let's see what happens when I match them. So first of all, the lines of the bills were recomputed based upon my matching of the purchase order lines. And it's now linked to 2 purchase orders. The first one is fully built, but you can directly see in the chatter, as well as in the purchase order lines, that prices have been adapted without going in the purchase order itself, directly from the reconciliation screen. But the second one, we can see that it's still expecting a bill, but here we can see that the quantity have been changed from 10 to 4 for three-way purchasing matches. So it's really a great, powerful tool. So before we dive into the third bill, we heard the feedback of many accountants that wanted to be able to work on multiple screens. So that's why we added a great new feature, and it's not only available for accountants. It's available for everybody. Because in Odoo 18, you can easily pop out your images from the chatter, just like this. And now you can easily adapt it. And let's put it, for example, always on top. And see what happens when I change my bills now. I can add it over here, so that I can set it on a second screen, for example. And let's dive into the third one. And directly you can see that the image will change, because it remained linked to the selected record. And if you remove it, it will directly be back in the chatter itself. So what about the last bill? As you can see over here, Odoo found some irregularities. Well, I'm really excited to announce that in Odoo 18, AI will help our users avoid making mistakes. Because if we can find some irregularities, we will directly point it out on the screen, and if you accept them, well, the moment you confirm, you can accept it or deny it for upcoming builds. And that's it. In a few clicks, I processed all of my daily documents. But most important, I only intervened there where necessary. So let's move on, because there is one more repetitive task accountants are struggling with: your monthly loan reimbursement. First of all, the monthly reimbursement can be kind of tricky, because you get out the capital and the interest in order to recognize correctly in the books. But also during the closing process itself, you need to recognize correctly long-term and short-term amounts. Well, all of that belongs to the past, because we added a new loans management feature. Let me show you how it works. Directly from the new menu button, you have the possibility to open all your ongoing loans. And you can create all kinds of new loans. Well, first of all, you can give it a name. For example, for the purchase of my brand new Volvo EX90. So first of all, you can compute it if you want, directly within Odoo. Just set a loan amount, for example, 100,000 with an interest rate of 2%, maybe in 3 years. And directly we will compute all monthly repayments. But if you received a depreciation schedule for it from your bank, for example, just like me, you can also upload it from Excel. So you can upload easily your Excel. We don't need a lot of information. Just the monthly date, the monthly amount of capital reimbursement and interest, and in one click, we will import and create all of your monthly repayments. So let's see what happened when I confirm it. Because when I confirm the loan, we will now create, out of the box, all related accounting entries to it. And we create multiple of them. A lot of them, as you can see, just for this one, 177. So what's in there? First of all, we create one for your monthly repayment, so that you can easily reconcile it with your monthly repayment. No need to get your capital and interests out of there anymore. But we also update your balance sheet in real time, because we reclassify on a monthly basis long-term and short-term amounts, so that you don't have to look at it at the closing entry anymore. So let's go back to the loan itself. Because loans can also be linked to an asset group, like company cars, for me, for example. And directly from here, I get an overview of all my related assets, like the purchase of my Volkswagen ID4, for example. And if you need an overview of your loans for cash flow purposes, we also added a new loan analysis that will give you an overview of all your ongoing loans, so that you can take it into consideration for cash flow. And because we have the asset group, you can also use it for reporting purposes and obtain all your loans grouped by asset group. So now that we automated our accounting that much, I'm really thrilled that this year we made some huge steps forward into financial management for international companies, in order to suit even better the needs of CFOs and business controllers. So first of all, let's talk about consolidation. Consolidation has been completely refactored and is now entirely part of your accounting application. And it's super easy to use. So therefore, let's dive first of all in our profit and loss report. Within the profit and loss report, you will obtain the results, of course, of our Belgium entity, in Belgium GAAP, in euros. So now if you have to consolidate them with the other Odoo entities, well, first of all, you can use our new multi-company selector, which is really easy to use. And in one single click, I'll consolidate all of them together. And we even take into consideration currency exchange rates. But now we're still using Euro and Belgium GAAP. What if you want your consolidation in rupees and in Indian GAAP, for example? Well, just change company and everything will be recomputed out of the box. And if you want to change, because in rupees apparently it's very high, so you can easily change over here and report in thousands, or jump back. And same goes for the US. If you want the same under US GAAP and in dollar, in one click you will obtain exactly the same result translated in US GAAP and dollars. So let's jump back to Belgium, because the new consolidation gives some great other advantages. Let's have a look at how easy it is to obtain my results by using a horizontal grouping per company. In one click, all of them are available per company. And that gives, yeah, you can applaud. And that gives some additional information. Like, for example, here are intercompany sales. Of course, if I need to consolidate, I need to extract them out of there. And that's why we rebranded our journal groups into multi-ledgers. Because thanks to the multi-ledger, you can easily switch from local GAAP to consolidation in order to get all of them out of there. And if you need to report under IFRS and extract your IFRS adjustments, you can do exactly the same for IFRS purposes. But multi-ledger is not only available on the profit and loss report, it's available on all our financial reports. Let's have a look at the depreciation schedule. If I open a depreciation schedule over here, it's now grouped by local GAAP in Belgium, but also here, if I want to have my depreciation schedule in local GAAP and in IFRS, I can easily switch over here from local GAAP to IFRS and receive corrections between both GAPs. So how does it work? Well, the biggest change in there is that we completely refactored the chart of account. Let me show you how it works. Let's open the chart of account and take a revenue account, for example. Because chart of account is now unified among all entities. As you can see over here, I can activate an account for one or multiple countries. And in the mapping tab, I can make sure that I can add the local account so that when I switch from company to another, it will be directly recomputed in the correct localization. So now that we talked about consolidation, let's talk about budgets. And therefore, let's go back to our profit and loss. First of all, let's go back purely to Belgium and recompute it out of the box over here. So first of all, financial budgets are now available on all financial reports. You can add the budget over here, add an existing one, or create all kinds of budgets out of the box. And now we're working on annual periods. But thanks to the new date selector, you can easily switch from yearly to quarterly or to monthly. And if I add some comparisons, for example, 1 or 2 periods, you can see that the budget is directly recomputed based upon my period select. And if I need to adapt it, it's very flexible. So for example, the budget of Q2 was a little bit lower than expected, so I can directly change it over here to 7.6 million. And automatically, it's adapted within the report itself. And if I remove the comparison and switch back to yearly, automatically the budget has been recomputed, taking into consideration all corrections I made in there. So last but not least, what if you need some more advanced budgeting? Well, thanks to the ameliorations we brought to analytic accounting last year, we now added budget management on top of there. Let me show you how flexible it is and open our new analytic budget. Budget can now be set on a combination of one or multiple analytic plans, just like here. And let me show you how powerful it is in your analytic budget report, because the combinations are endless. In a few clicks, I can open my budget report over here, and, well, for example, I want to see my budget per expense type and per department. And on top of here, I want to see it per office. Well, in one click, I receive the budget of all my company exactly the way I want to see it on the screen. But But there is one more thing. You might have noticed we have a committed stage over here, a new column. Well, that's because in Odoo Accounting 18, we now support budget accounting. Let's dive into the committed stage in order to drill down and see the result behind it. Directly, I can see all the related entries, and I can group them by type. For example, here, I still have 4 expenses in committed stage. Well, when I dive into there, I get now directly in a purchase order, because budget management is now available as from the creation of the purchase order itself. So how does it work? Let's add, for example, a product over here. It's also for car expenses, and allocate it per department and per office. Well, directly, when you save the line and you exceeded your budget, the line will be red. And if you need an overview why you exceeded your budget, you still have on the purchase order itself the flexibility to open your budget reporting and group it by cost in order to see why you have exceeded that budget, so that you can dive into there and see why it has been exceeded. So let's wrap up. A lot of new localizations. Plenty of automation that will impact the daily life of any accountant. But most of all, some huge steps forward for international companies. That's it for me. Back to you, Fabien.
Thank you, Winand. I think it's the first time ever that the same software is capable of doing a street vendor in the street with nothing on his mobile, up to the multi-company IFRS consolidation and everything. That is unique, because in order to satisfy the small company, you need a great usability efficiency. These guys have no time to waste recording data and everything. And in order to satisfy the large companies, you need a lot of features. Odoo is the only software that is capable of doing both. Great usability, simple, affordable, but all the features you need at a large scale. All right, let's continue. In addition to everything we showed you about the accounting, we also worked on the payroll localization. And this is the first year ever that we announced the payroll. We have had a payroll engine for years, but we never communicated on it because it was not mature. Now it is. So we started with 10 countries that are fully supported, and 15 that are coming, which are partially supported, so for some industries, but not all industries. More specifically, we have Switzerland, Hong Kong, and Australia fully supported, including with the certification. And then the others don't need a legal certification, so we also have US, Mexico, Kenya, Luxembourg, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and India also fully supported. In addition to that, we have 15 partially supported countries, including Belgium. For instance, we use it in Belgium, so it works for services companies like us, but not for every industry. All right. So now that you have seen Winand's accounting with budget and everything, maybe you want to set up some approval workflows. If someone exceeds the budget, you want to block it, or you need the approval of the CFO. Because when you start working with bigger companies, you need to tailor the system to their needs. You need to make it more advanced, because you cannot change the company if it's a big company. You have to change the software. And for that, I'm happy to introduce a new workflow engine in Odoo Studio. To do an example, let's go for the purchase. As Winand showed that we now have budget on purchase, let's pick a purchase order, let's say this one. And you want to put some confirmation approval rules here. Just jump to Odoo Studio, click on the button, and you can define your approval rules like we used to have in the past. But now you can have multiple approvers, maybe 2 approvers. 2 people can do this step for the first approval, and if it's larger than 1,500, only this person can do it. And maybe let's add another one, also in approval order 2, so they will receive in the same time than him. These 2 people can do it if the amount is lower than 1,500 euro. So I will define my own rules. You can use any field of the software, like the untaxed amount, lower, 1,500, confirmed. So I have these two people who can confirm. I have one rule here if it's lower than 1,500, and one rule activated here if it's bigger than 1,500. And maybe I'm going to add a third rule. At the end, I need the director to still approve everything. You can use a group or a user. Director approval. Boom, just like that. And so now it automatically adapts based on your rules. And you have a new features. You see here, now you can open the workflow as it is. So we clearly see here I have a first approval by a buyer, and then depending if it's higher than 1,500 or not, I have different approvers, and then I have final approval by a director. And the thing which is good, so we can go to the, let's close this. Here it's a small one, so I could do the first two approval myself, but the third one, we need the director. So you can click on it, restart the approval process, validate, accept. I don't have the access because I'm not the director here. So I cannot do it. I have to wait for the director to do it. And there is a communication mechanism in the approval workflow. So he received a notification to know that he should do it. Let's say he goes on holiday. So he wants to delegate his approval rule. So for that, you just click here. You jump to the workflow. And if you are responsible for one of the steps, I'm responsible for these two steps, I can delegate that to someone else. As I'm going to holiday until that date, I will delegate that to Mark Demo, notify him and his manager. And that can be done on any document, any action, any button in Odoo. It works in list view, multiple validation in one shot. It works in form view. You can delegate, you can notify, you can create multiple action on multiple users. It's a full workflow engine available everywhere and in just a few clicks. All right. So now this company is becoming so big that they decide to switch the industry and go to the restaurant industry. What a transition. And for that, for everything new we have done in the restaurant industry, we have a small video for you.
Welcome to Madame Croque Monsieur. Running a food truck is difficult, but with Odoo Point of Sale, it's a breeze, even on this hot day. But here's a challenge. Can these two service their entire restaurant business with just their mobile phones? Let's find out. And before we start serving food, we need some customers. One of our reservations is calling.
Hello?
They want to move their reservation by 30 minutes.
Oh yeah, just 30 minutes? Oh, we can do that. Okay, see you then.
You heard them, Dallas? Thanks to the back-end integration, we can do it without leaving the POS session. Do you know the common struggle in our food truck? We have lots of clients, but only a few tables. With the floating orders feature, we can open tabs for clients. They can just hang out in the grass or come and collect takeaway. And of course, with different clients come lots of different preferences. Fortunately, with the new variants display, they're all visible in the system in one record. And when ordering at the counter, the customers can see their order in real time on the remote display. And when serving customers at their tables, we can easily switch the view by using the Table Selector button. Yup, just like that, Dallas. And you heard the lady, she hates pickles, like any other sane human being. That's why we created a predefined internal note asking to remove them. Clients can just scan a QR code to order one of our lovely combo menus, and they can pay right away with the self-checkout too. Well, now let's go back to Mohammed. He's just putting some final touches on the takeaway order. And perfect, look, the client is here. But if she runs into some friends and decides to stay with them, no problem. we can just merge the floating order with an existing table. Oh, what's that? New drinks just arrived. All Mohammed needs to do is use his phone to scan the barcode, and the new product is immediately created with all the information from the barcode database. And we can edit the info, of course. And when we collect a payment, no terminal is needed. Dallas can simply use his phone. Whoa, that was easy. Okay, fun time's over. Right, you forgot to ask for an invoice for accounting. No worries. You can just scan the QR code to find everything online. That's it from us. Your turn to play.
So to recap, for the POS interface, for restaurant and retail, we have a new mobile user interface, table reservation system, payment terminals, multivariant, fast table switcher, synchronization of multiple tabs, multiple waiters for the same orders, to-go orders, creating new tabs. We now connect to every delivery platform. Uber Eats, Takeaway, Zomato, whatever you imagine, we have 30-something integrations. You can merge table and split order, reserve your table. We also have a lot of improvement for the retail industry, like mobile UX, camera on mobile, I showed you that before. Fast product creation, you can sell event tickets, and it creates the tickets for your events. So a lot of new features for the point of sale. And now, for all the point of sale customer, we offer for free the stand for the table. Whether it's to view the menu or order or for self-order, just go to our website and you can say, okay, I need 100, here is my URL, and we'll print and do beautiful QR code for you on your table, like these ones. And if you want to test the restaurant feature on your own, in the 3 halls during the exhibition, we have 3 bars when you can play with the self-order, the kiosk, the order at the cashier, and they will deliver the drinks to you. So you can try it in live right after. All right. So now we have this amazing company. It's a large company doing a lot of things with accounting, inventory, project management. Everything is fully automated, so we outpace the competition easily. And now you start to have all this data. And it's important to turn this data into insights. And for that, let me introduce you the new dashboards of Odoo. So if you go to the dashboard application, we have redesigned every dashboard so that they are extremely clean and beautiful. Let's have a look. You see? Beautiful scorecards, have progress bar, so that you directly see the importance of some documents compared to the others. You can have dashboards for everything. They are already out of the box, but you can also customize them with benchmark, expense, and all these dashboards are completely dynamic and use the new look and feel. So let's have a look at this one. We have a lot of expenses today. $3,489. Wow, what are they doing for that price? Oh, we see by employee that Mitchell admin is getting way more expense than all of the others, you see? We see with the progress bar. So let's click on him. What is he doing? And we see that it's mostly travel and accommodation, because now that I clicked, it filtered everything on this employee. So now everything you see here is filtered according to this context. And when we look at the categories, it's mostly travel and accommodation. Let's click on it. And now I drill down on the travel and accommodation of this person. And we see here that he has 2 expenses, one travel by air, $700, and one hotel, $2,000. I mean, where is he going for that price? So let's go there and say refused. Please find a cheaper one. So you have all this data about all your application with clean dashboard, and you can easily navigate through the data, take action, notify people, imaging how efficient it is. And if you want to customize this dashboard, because we have made a lot of improvement on the spreadsheet, just switch to debug. And now, next to every dashboard, you have a small edit button. So let's click on it, and you jump to Odoo spreadsheet. And now you can create your formulas, Odoo debit of this account. You can create your own graph, your own data, inject data from a pivot view or from a graph view of Odoo directly in the spreadsheet. I mean, CFO, they like it. Everybody can do a spreadsheet, and now it's fully integrated to your ERP. I mean, it's the best business intelligence system you can imagine. You know what the others do? They do data warehouse and data lake and ETL to transfer the data from one software to another. And then they have to create cubes and use these cubes to do reporting, imaging the mess. Now you get all those things in just a few clicks, fully integrated. It's beautiful. You can navigate and customize it to your own needs. And when we show Odoo to different people, usually they say, what's the trick? I mean, it's so good. It costs only 20 euro for everything. Everything you do is super clean and fast and works as expected. And I think the answer to that is the trick is the technical quality of Odoo. Because Odoo is super good in modularity on quality of the code, we can evolve much faster than the other. And this technical quality, it shows everywhere. In our capability to innovate, in our capability to develop new features and improve the existing ones. But it also shows in the user interface. So let me show you a few things that I like. It's detailed, but it shows how mature Odoo is. So let's start with the print CSS. Usually, in any software, from the browser, you can do Control-P and you print a page. And pretty much every software, when you do that, it's ugly because pages are not prepared to be printed. Let's go to a list of sales order like this, Control-P, and you see how clean this is? It does my printer is black and white. I don't know how can I do colors. Okay, PDF. I was going to print in the office. And you see how clean that is? I mean, the information is well structured. You don't have the mess of all the menus and the button. Only one you need, but you still have the context. It's filtered on my quotations. And I have 1/23 record. So it's really clean. And you can do that from everywhere. If I print form view, I'll get the form view, clean, no extra fluff, perfectly. So basically, you can print everything, form view, pivot table, calendar view, list of opportunities, Gantt chart, and it will always be beautiful. Only what's needed, well organized, and adapted to the print. You know why we did that? We have seen so many custom development to print a report or a list of data that are actually available in Odoo through a pivot table or a list view. No, you don't need to develop this custom report. Just print, and you get the report right away. And that's where you see the difference with traditional software. Most software, they try to do a good usability in the web screen. We did it in the web screen, but we also did it in the print, in the PDF. But that's not all. We also improved the URL of Odoo. So this is an URL of a sale order in Odoo 17. You see how long it is? And this is now. It's super short. And that's what I call technical quality. In addition to being short, it's very clear. I'm in the list of sales order on the sale order 69. And if I reload, I get the full context. The way it works is that it follows the breadcrumb. So /Odoo is all the apps. Then sales, you go to the list of sales. 60 is on the sale order 60 that we see here. And then planning is in the planning of the sale order 60. And that way, if you reload the page, you don't lose the context and the breadcrumb. Everything is available directly. Let's have a look. Up. Just remove the debug mode that I activated. OK, so let's go to here. I'm in /Odoo. If I click on maybe sales, I go to Odoo sales. Click on a record. I'm in the record 55, but I can go to the 54. So you see how simple that is. Let's get a sale order with some tasks, maybe. This one has 4 tasks. I click. Now I have an action for the task, and I go to the task 86. So the breadcrumb is super clear. And now let's do something that the developers will love. You know, a lot of partners, they integrate Odoo with different software. Maybe you need to integrate it with your shipment company or another tool with GitHub or whatever. And integration is always a little bit complex. You have to read the documentation, how I create a connector between GitHub and Odoo, what are the data models, what are the fields that I will connect, and everything. We made it extremely easy to do. Now, from any screen, because the URL contains the full context of what you see on the screen, from any screen, if you want this data as a structured data JSON, all you have to do is just write JSON here, and boom. So I have the list of my 57 orders and the data that I have on the screen. Let's go back to Odoo. And let's go maybe on a pivot table. And I have a pivot table here. You want the data of this report? Same thing. Just put JSON. Boom. And I have the amount per day on this sales order. So whether it's a reporting, a calendar, a list view, all you have to do is to replace Odoo by JSON, and you know how to integrate it. And we even went very far to improve what's in the URL, so that you can just fine-tune the URL, because URLs are clear, and you get the other thing. So no more hours of looking into the documentation to understand how to extract the data from my database. Just go on the screen, JSON, and done. All right. And you know, every year we speak about how fast Odoo is, because at the end, it's part of usability to be fast. And to show you how very efficient Odoo is in terms of speed, I'm going to invite you on the stage, Anthony Le Suisse, our CTO.
Hello. There's a question that haunts me. I get it over and over, all the time. So I answer the question because the answer is very easy, but it keeps coming. It seems like people just don't get it. So today, and together, we will answer this question one for all. And the question is, does Odoo scale up? Will it handle my load? Can it support my company? And I told you, the answer is easy. It's yes. But maybe you don't believe me. So then, my question to you is, how big is your load? You have to know that 99.999% of the companies in the world have less than 10,000 employees. Actually, only 2,000 have more, and many are conglomerates. At Odoo, we are around now 5,000 employees. So I could just show you what we use internally at Odoo. And we use Odoo a lot, of course. But let's aim bigger. And imagine that you have a company with 10,000 employees worldwide. And imagine that on top of that, this company runs an e-commerce website with a lot of orders, 500 million every year. It's roughly the size of Amazon France. So if you do the computation, it's around 16 orders per second. So we did simulate that with a tool, but with a tool here. So you can see here are the number of users that are on the database. But before we do the simulation, we did something else. We also improve, let's go, right. We also improve the way you can test the performance. So we have a new tool. We already had the tool, but we improved it. The Populate tool, we made it much, much faster. So you can generate a lot of data in a matter of minutes. So here, I didn't start the database empty. I created a database. Oh, I need to remove my filter. I created a database with 40 million sales orders. And when you do this, we spread those sales orders across time to make it more realistic. So you can see that there is those 40 million, and of course, because I simulate now those 10,000 users coming, those users can be, they can act as employee of the company working in the back end, or they can act as people on the front end ordering stuff. And you can see every time I refresh, there is new order piling up. See? And when I use the software, for example, I browse different sales order, it's very snappy. I can confirm that one, maybe create an invoice. See, it's instant. Actually, it's a bit slower than when I was doing the repetition yesterday, because the wired connection doesn't work. I'm on the public Wi-Fi. So I can even go into accounting, and you see I have those invoices, same, new invoices are piling up all the time, because I have those thousands of users. I can browse around, it's very quick, instant. I can show you, for example, the journal items. Also, we generated a lot of journal items. So here, if I click, it takes a few seconds to compute. There is, I think, around 50 million journal items. And I can show you, for example, the profit and loss report. This, of course, will take a little more time, because we need to sum up by account, etc., all those journal items. It will take around 20, 30 seconds. But it's still manageable time to get this kind of report. But then I have a little trick for you if we want to get this report much faster. So we will first wait to get the slow one. And I'm checking the, still running. Voila, we have it. So we can drill down, you know, the data. If I click here, I will drill down, I go on the journal item, see, very smart. And the little trick, if you want to get those reports much faster, we now told you that because of the consolidation feature we introduced in 18, you can create multiple companies that share the same chart of account. So there is a trick. You create a reporting company. And in that reporting company that share exactly the same chart of account, you can post a journal entry every day with the daily summary. And by doing that, you can go on the report. And of course, this time, it's really instant. So I'm a geek, and I want to show you what's inside the matrix. You know, how we make this happen. So let me show you here. See, here, that's the log of the Odoo server. You can see all those queries running and running and running. It's very fast. And next to that, that's the database running. And here, you can see on the top of the screen, each item is a CPU that is running. So we are on a quite powerful machine with a lot of CPU to handle this kind of load. So the question is, where can you find such a powerful machine? And the answer is also easy. You can find it today on Odoo SH. You go there, and now you can order a machine up to 256 workers. That's the one I just used for my demonstration. Einstein said that in theory and practice are the same, but in practice they are not. And of course, even with the most powerful machine, If your algorithms are not well designed, if the complexity is bad, no, even with the most powerful machine, you won't make it. So there are some stuff that you might need to improve the performance. And that's why at Odoo, we have a dedicated support team for performance. So those people, they can help you. And if you have any problem of performance in the standard flow of Odoo, we will fix it right away. And if you have performance issue in your custom code, we have also consultants that can help you to fix them. But if you want to go even beyond that, imagine that you want to go even bigger. So there is two options for that. The first option is to distribute the load across multiple machines. So you could already set up multiple Odoo servers on multiple machines. It's a feature that has been in Odoo for more than 10 years, I think. And that's what we use on odoo.com. But the new feature is that now you can spread also the load on the database, on PostgreSQL. It's a feature that we introduced last year. And the way we do it, we know when a transaction is read-only or a transaction has to write to the database. When it's a read-only transaction, we can direct it to a replica. When it's a read-write transaction, then we direct it to the main cluster. And you have to know that 90% of the transactions are just reading stuff. So by taking this approach, you can 10x compared to what I just showed you before. Another solution would be to go for even bigger machine. And last year, IBM contacted us because they have this lineup of machines called Power 10. And they started to get more and more customers who were deploying Odoo on such machine. So we made sure that Odoo runs smoothly on those machines. And this year, we partnered with them to benchmark Odoo. We did exactly the same benchmark that I did on my machine, and we did it on their machine. And on their machine, at the same clock speed, you can see something around 2x performance improvement. The reason is that the cache probably is much bigger. But their machine goes up to 1,000 core. So with those two options, you can 10x what I showed you. So 10x a 10,000 employee company, it's a 100,000 employees company. So the next time somebody asks you, does Odoo scale up? Can it handle this load? No, you know the answer. The answer is so Fabien is coming back to explain what you are going to experience during this event.
Thank you, Anthony. So that's it for the keynote. We'll start these 3 amazing days of sharing and workshops, community networking, and everything. And together, we're going to do the best exhibition ever. We have 250 exhibitors, 400 inspiring sessions, 2 night parties, 4 bands. We know, we changed a little bit the concept of Odoo Experience. It used to be Odoo about Odoo community only. This year, we changed and we invited non-Odoo speakers. So we have very famous speakers like Charles Michel, which is the Prime Minister of Belgium, ex-Prime Minister of Belgium and President of the European Council. We're going to have, right after this session, Octave Klaba, who's the founder and chairman of OVH. We have Micode, a very famous French influencer in millions of viewers that will talk about AI, cybersecurity. We have Emmanuel de Merode. For me, he's a real hero. He's the founder of the National Park Virunga in Congo. Shane MacLeod, Olympic gold medal winner. Georges-Louis Boucher, president of MR. So we have a lot of different inspiring people. So we decided that we will expand the exhibition so that it's not only the biggest Odoo exhibition, but now it's going to be the biggest IT and business exhibition in Europe. So this year we have 3 exhibition halls. Just today, 137 inspiring sessions. There is an agenda outside in paper, or you can go to experience.odoo.com. We have a Google Village, where we have 100 startups that expose their product. Tonight, we're going to have the Juliet and Odoo Band, great music, and a networking dinner with the community. Most of the talks, there are a lot of talks today, but some of the focus are accounting in this room, if you are interested in accounting. Logistics and manufacturing is going to be in Hall 7A. For the developers, we have a lot of trainings today, Hall 11C. For the ones interested in a point of sale for restaurant or retail, it's going to be in the Auditorium 2000, this one. Actually, this one is quite funny. You will have 3 presentations in parallel, and if the speaker is not good, you can switch. We have 3 lab Odoos where you can experience Odoo yourself for maybe 40 minutes to play with all our application. We have different exhibitors. We have business books in the Hall 11 if you want to buy cheap and very good business books. I selected and read all of them, so you can be sure it's my favorite ones. And starting right now, so as soon as we close this session, if you are interested to see Octave Klaba, the founder of OVH Cloud, it's going to be in Hall 11B with Anthony Le Suisse. They will do the session together. If you are interested in manufacturing or what's new in the POS, it's in this hall. It's going to be here. If you're interested in HR, we will present the Odoo HR culture in the Hall 7A. 7B, what's new in the document application. And Hall 11C, for the developers, deep dive into the security of the Odoo framework. So I will invite everyone to go out of this stage and join the event, because you have to do a different setup. So even if you plan to attend in this stage, please go out and you will receive headset after, and you can come back in a few minutes.